What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're watching this and you're a pitcher between the ages of 14 and 18, there's a really good chance that you're caught in what's called the velocity matrix. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what exactly is the velocity matrix? I'm going to show you in this video exactly what it is, how to identify if you're actually in it, and most importantly, how you can get out. Okay, first off, what is the velocity matrix? Now, the velocity matrix is basically when you get onto social media as maybe a freshman in high school, all of the crazy drills, routines, quick fixes, and products that you see on social media. And the velocity matrix for most guys usually starts around age 14. Okay? When you're age 14, you're usually in 8th grade or you're going into high school. And when you're 14 years old and you're just getting into the baseball side of social media and you maybe haven't been exposed to high quality baseball training yet, then all of these drills, all this stuff that you see on social media, it's going to look very, very intriguing. And that's because most of the drills that you see that get pushed to the top of your algorithm are kind of just the craziest eye-catching stuff, right? Because the algorithm pushes that, whether that be on TikTok or Instagram. It looks really productive, but it's actually a loop and a never-ending trap. And inside that loop, pitchers usually wander down a couple different paths, which I'm going to show you right now. Now, what I have written down, if you can't understand my terrible handwriting, is mechanical overload. Now, basically what this means is you have probably seen a million different cues on social media. Dump into your back leg, shift your weight forward, straighten out that front leg, get your arm up here, all of that stuff. And I'm not sitting here and saying that it's bad, okay? Because let's face it, your mechanics probably aren't that good and they need work. Okay, so all of these drills, they're not inherently bad. It's just the implementation. Okay, and what I mean by that is, as somebody who just wants to focus on pitching, you don't have a baseball development background. So, how are you going to actually know what drills, what mechanical cues are helping you? You're probably not going to know, and you go down this never-ending loop of trying a drill, no results, go to a new drill, no results, go to a new drill or cue, no results, okay? And I know this so well and I'm able to explain it so in depth is because I went through the same exact thing. Like, when I was in high school, when I was in, my early years of high school, I went down this same path. I found all of this stuff online. I tried it out. Maybe it worked for a little bit, but I just kept falling into the same routine of not throwing any harder. Okay, gadget addiction. This is the next path that guys tend to go down. So, another thing that gets pushed a lot on social media or ads or whatever is all of these products, right? And the most common being plyos. Okay? Every single guy that I talk to, every athlete that comes to me saying they need help, says they do plyos. And I just want to make it clear, I have no issue with plyos. But going back to what I talked about before, it's just the implementation, right? So there are multiple different drills that you can do with plyos, okay? But the thing is that those drills serve different purposes, okay? And you not being, or maybe you are, I don't know, but probably not being well versed in how to actually fine tune a pitching delivery for a specific type of mover, then you probably don't know which plyo drill is best for you, to be completely honest. And maybe you do, and that's awesome, but for the most part, you probably don't. So you end up doing some reverse throws, some pivot picks, rockers, roll-ins, walking windups, and all of these things have different purposes. So I'm not saying that they're inherently bad on their own. I'm not attacking Driveline or any other company that makes these products. Like, they can be useful. It's just about improper implementation, and that is a huge part of the velocity matrix. And then you see other things like water bags, and same thing, you don't know how to properly use them. And it's easy to run to a product and think that it's going to be the answer for you to start throwing harder, right? Because I did the same thing. I bought all of these products thinking that it was going to be the key to get me the 5 to 10 mile per hour gain I was looking for, and that never happened. Okay, so stop looking to all these products for a crutch when it comes to throwing harder, because no product is going to automatically get you there. Okay, so that's number two. Okay, probably the most common thing that I see within the velocity matrix is copycat syndrome. So basically what that means is taking your favorite MLB pitcher, your favorite college pitcher, hell, I don't know, maybe the guy that throws 95 on your team, and trying to copy his mechanics. Okay, and the reason that that doesn't work is because you probably have a completely different anatomical structure than that guy you're trying to copy. Okay, maybe you strike gold and you guys are built the same, and you copy Max Fried and you gain 10 miles per hour. That's awesome. I wish you the best. But for most guys, that isn't the case. Okay, so when you take a pitcher like Shohei Otani, just the first name that came to my mind. And then you take a pitcher like Ben Joyce. I'm going to throw a side-by-side comparison of their mechanics somewhere around here or on the screen somewhere. And I just want you to ask yourself if they look similar. They don't. And it's because they have different body types. They have different movement patterns within their mechanics that make them throw hard, which is specific to their unique body type, okay? So it is almost never going to work trying to copy somebody else's mechanics to throw harder. You have to figure out the things that work best for you. Now, the fourth path that these kids are going down is overcoaching. Now, a lot of you guys have probably tried doing in-person lessons, or maybe you worked with your high school pitching coach and maybe that worked out for you. But a lot of the times these don't work because the number one focus is a cue. Why are cues the number one focus? Well, it's because, think about it. You only have a limited amount of time with that coach, whether you're at practice or you're at your 1 hour one-on-one lesson. There's only a certain amount of time that you have, right? So in the coach's mind, it's how can I maximize how much better my athlete gets in this short window of time. So running to a cue, oh my God, that's a terrible arrow. Running to a cue is a really easy fix. And I'm not here to demonize cues, but they don't paint the full picture. Not even close to the full picture of what actually causes velocity gain, right? So what you actually need is consistent work on the right things. So when you're doing, all of these cues at practice, and maybe you do one type of cue the first week and a different type of cue the second week, and both of those maybe have some good feedback, and you combine 1 and 2 into the next session, and it's like now you have all these cues to think about, and a lot of the time that takes away from your body's natural ability to throw hard, because everybody has a unique set of mechanics ingrained into them already, and it's not about rebuilding your body to move different. It's about unlocking your body. Okay, so overcoaching and over cueing of guys, I've seen it quite literally ruin pitchers. So hopefully that's not happening to you. But if it is, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can see how I'm fighting the velocity matrix every single day. And if you want to apply to work with me one-on-one, you can book a call down below. But let's get right back into it. Okay, I'm going to leave this up for a second because I want to talk about what this leads to. Okay, so overcoaching having these robotic mechanics, all of this stuff leads you to be, drum roll please, if you can read that, it says crafty, okay? Now, what does crafty mean? It's basically a nice way of saying you throw slow. So you're a movement guy, you're a junk baller, you're crafty. And that happens when you don't have access to your full and authentic mechanics, right? You're going to become slow, you're going to become robotic, you're going to become crafty. And I don't know about you, but being a power pitcher sounds a lot more fun than being a crafty pitcher. But if you don't want to throw hard, that's completely fine. If you want to be a crafty guy, I respect it. But if you're still watching this video, you probably want to throw harder. And you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, how does this guy know everything that's going on with me right now? It's because I've lived it, brother. I have lived through the velocity matrix and I have broken out of the velocity matrix. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, now we made it to the fun part. How do we actually escape the velocity matrix? I'm going to tell you step by step how you do this. First, athletic first throwing. So when you're doing drill focused throwing like you're probably doing now, you're just teaching your body to get into all these robotic positions that don't actually make you throw harder. So you have to go back to the basics. When you were 9 years old just starting out playing baseball, you weren't a PO. You played every position, you made throws from a bunch of different spots. You need to go back to doing that, okay? Because becoming a good pitcher is a culmination of becoming a good thrower. So how do we become a good thrower? We get good at throwing from a bunch of different arm angles, a bunch of different spots, and we build up our capacity to do so. Okay, now we want to build the engine. So what does this actually mean? Well, the way you train, you want to be fast and explosive on the mound. So the way that you train outside of your throwing sessions is really going to dictate how your body moves, okay? So getting strong, getting fast, and building really, really good rotational power. This is one that's overlooked so much. You are literally rotating your hips into your torso, into your upper body to throw a baseball hard. That pattern needs to be trained way more than it actually is. And third, you want to measure your progress, okay? I know a lot of you probably don't have access to radar guns. Go buy a pocket radar. They're like $300. It's not going to break the bank, but this is why you need to be tracking velocity. When you do this from week to week, actually track your velo, it starts to become a competition with yourself. So you're going to push yourself to new limits and actually try to throw harder. Like if you're staring at 80 miles per hour for 3 weeks in a row, you're probably going to get really pissed off at some point and try to throw harder. And if these two things are in check, then that 80 is going to start turning to 81, to 82, to 83, and so on. But my point is, you don't actually know if you're making progress unless you're tracking it. So tracking your progress is so important. All right, guys, that is the velocity matrix in a nutshell. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be making a ton more videos like this so we can all fight the velocity matrix together and throw gas. And if you want one-on-one help from me, the actual process and steps you need to take every day to throw harder, book a call with me down below. We'll talk about your situation, where I can help you, just like I did to Kyle, to Jared, to Sebastian, to Jim, and so on and so forth. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one.